Alright, shaky cam alert, my apologies. This felt like freehanding it based on the layout of this room and the layout of the game, which is Pax Pamir 2nd edition, which came out earlier this year in 2019. It was designed by Cole Worley and published by Whirligig, and I'm going to try it out Solitaire against the AI, which is called Wakhan. This variant was created by Richard Wilkins, aka Ricky Royal, who's already put out a series of excellent Solitaire playthrough videos that I highly recommend for many reasons. Reasons. I said regions. Yeah. So, apologies in advance for mispronouncing everything and for all the rules mistakes. Feel free to point things out down below. No need to sugarcoat anything. And as usual, I'll try to keep a running list of rules mistakes in the description box down below. Now, before we begin, let's take a look at the first paragraph of the rulebook. In Pax Pamir, each player assumes the role of a 19th century Afghan leader attempting to forge a new state after the collapse of the Durrani Empire. Western histories often call this period the Great Game because of the role played by the Europeans who attempted to use Central Asia as a theater for their own rivalries. In this game, those empires are viewed strictly from the perspective of the Afghans who sought to manipulate the interloping Ferengi, foreigners, for their own purposes. So here we have the map rolled out, depicting 6 regions, each with a ruler token that I think a lot of people are staining or dyeing or painting to help the icons stand out more. We have a VP track that wraps around the outside, and a pawn marking the starting favored suit, which is always this purple political suit. There are 3 others: intelligence, economic, and military. And a little reminder here that when the climate is military, cards in the marketplace cost twice what they would normally. Then we have these very cool and interesting coalition blocks, top to bottom, for the British, Afghan, and Russian coalitions. When they're upright in a region, there's no stacking limit, by the way, they represent armies. When they're on their sides, across borders like that, they represent roads. I think they're made out of resin. Okay. And this container also comes in the game box's insert. This does not. This I bought. So this holds our bank of money, rupees. This is just standard cardboard, though you can maybe eventually, if you're lucky, find the deluxe version fancy metal coins. But I'm just fine with these cardboard pieces. Not jealous at all, not one bit. Actually, okay with that. Not jealous. We have, I'll be playing as blue, and I've chosen gray for Wakhan. We each get our player board and 10 player cylinders, in addition to our starting 4 rupees. And then we have AI-related cards. This is the AI deck. It's Butterfield-inspired, apparently. I have a loyalty dial. Wakhan's kind of loyal to all, or has pragmatic loyalty, depending on the situation and the action. Then we have the market board. This is mounted, and actually, a nice touch is that on the back is the map. So if you'd rather play with a mounted map, there you go. Along the top of each column is the cost of cards in the corresponding columns. And we're going to fill this up with cards from this deck. This is just a subset of the cards that come in the game, mostly court cards and some of the event cards mixed in, preceded in a very specific way. In every game, though, we include special events called dominance checks, and those are what trigger scoring. We'll talk about that in just a second, but all I know is that they're not going to be in the top, maybe third of the deck. So we're going to go ahead and fill in the marketplace. But let's take a look at this card first. So this is a court card. It has the suit. This is a political court card. a rank in stars ranging from 1 to 3. This is a rank 1 political card, an associated region, in this case Persia. Impact icons that get resolved when this card is played into the court. Really nice illustrations, neat flavor text, the name of the card itself, and the central band is colored, which means that it's a patriot card, specifically an Afghan patriot, and counts towards influence in that coalition. And then we have card-based actions in the form of icons. Some cards have text in a box, which is its special ability, and then this also has a colored stripe at the bottom, meaning it can be betrayed and turned into a Russian prize in this case, which also counts towards influence. So that's a court card in a nutshell. So we're going to fill this in top to bottom, from left to right. A lot of economic cards, wow. Just one patriot so far, and then we have our first event. So most events have an if discarded effect and an if purchased effect, like this one. So embarrassment of riches if discarded. Gifts are not worth influence until after the next dominance check. If purchased, each of your gifts is worth an additional influence point until after the next dominance check. Oh, back-to-back events. If discarded, the climate changes to military. If purchased, new tactics. Your military cards are always considered favored until the next dominance check. We'll talk about what that means in just a minute. Here's another Afghan patriot. Here's a British patriot. Okay. So I'm going to set my loyalty dial to one of the 3 colors here. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with maybe I'll stick to Afghan and see how it goes. It's kind of a hard decision, a little unpredictable what Wakhan will go for and how things will turn out. Alright, so basically on your turn you can take up to 2 actions, any combination of purchase and play. Play meaning placing a card into your court or activating a card-based ability. Then after that you have access to any eligible bonus actions from court cards that match the current climate, the current favored suit. And you can only use 1 action per card per turn. And then after that you perform cleanup. You start with a court size limit of 3 cards plus 1 per political star in your court, a hand size limit of 2 cards plus 1 per intelligence star in your court, and those are dealt with during cleanup in that order. Then you slide cards and refill the market, and that works in a very particular way, as does purchasing. You'll see that in action. Military stars help towards breaking ties, and beyond that you compare final money. Economic stars provide a tax shelter against the taxation action, which you can see a rank 2 here, rank 1. Certain card-based actions are only available to you if you rule a region. Some cost money to do as well, or instead, or whatever the case may be. Dominance checks. When those get triggered, either from a player purchasing the action or the event, or during cleanup when we're refilling the market, when a second one appears, then you immediately resolve the dominance check. You check to see if a single coalition is dominant, i.e. that they have 4 or more blocks in the form of armies and or roads out on the map than the other 2 coalitions. If they do, and the dominance check succeeds, therefore, the player with the most influence in that dominant coalition scores 5 points, the next player would score 3 in this case, then you'd clear all coalition blocks from the map to place it back into a state of uneasy peace. So, if we're lucky and have our dial set to the dominant coalition during a dominance check. Then we get a base 1 influence point, +1 per patriot, +1 per prize, and +1 per gift. So I haven't talked about these cylinders yet. These can represent one of 3 things. When they're on the map, they represent tribes and help you towards ruling a region. When they're on a card, either in your own court or on one of Wakhan's court cards, this would represent a spy. And if, in our case, well, in either case, if it's on one of these round brilliant diamond icons, then they represent gifts. So 1 per patriot, 1 per prize, 1 per gift, plus the base 1 as long as we're loyal to the dominant coalition. Wakhan is loyal to all, and also gets to keep patriots and prizes of all coalitions at once. Her gifts count towards the dominant coalition. In our case, we can only have influence towards a single coalition at a time if we ever, say, in this case, play a Russian or play a British patriot. We'd have to switch our loyalty to that new coalition and lose any previously played influence. We would lose any Afghan patriots, Afghan prizes, and gifts in this case. If the dominance check fails, then we simply compare who has the most of their cylinders in play. The player who has the most in play scores 3, the next scores 1. If after any dominance check the player has 4 more victory points than the other, then that player automatically wins the game. The game is over. Should you make it all the way through to the last dominance check, that is handled a bit differently and victory points are doubled before distributed. If you tie in any of these, you sum up the victory points and distribute them evenly. So that's kind of the basic gist. This is where we track Wakhan's gifts, and these are lists of priorities that drive her decision making and can be one of the more confusing aspects of this AI, which makes me think, hey, maybe I would enjoy soloing multiple sides. There's no hidden information. You're purchasing cards from an open market. I'd probably keep hand cards face up to avoid that memory aspect, and there are enough layers, enough things to consider from turn to turn, enough things that are changing to, I think, help keep it from feeling too chess-like, even without any die rolling, which I think is kind of a concern for a lot of people who really prefer or enjoy soloing multiplayer games. I'd probably stick to maybe 3-player games, though, based on space and mental capacity, my own. Another nice touch is that you can play 2 human players against the AI to try to simulate that 3-player experience, but of course it'd be very different. So, we're all set to begin, I believe. Hopefully I don't make too many mistakes. Let's get started with Wakhan's first, she begins. And we flip over the first AI card. So I've had to reset and start over. We have a new market of cards. I've set my loyalty dial to the British coalition this time because I tend to overthink this, and I've brought out my tripod as well, so it's very noisy, very creaky, but at least it'll be less nausea-inducing, hopefully. And finally, my cat has broken into the room, so if he suddenly appears in the frame, don't freak out. He seems to be comfortably sleeping behind me on the chair. Let's begin Wakhan's turn. So we work our way down this list of actions, starting from the top. If Wakhan has fewer spies than another player, then radicalize the highest ranked intelligence card. Well, that's not the case. Next, battle on the highest priority court card with the most spies where Wakhan also has at least 1 spy, also not applicable. Next, radicalize. So that's Wakhan's main action and bundles purchase and play into one. We look at the red arrow, it's pointing to the word top. Black is pointing to the number 4. She's going all in for that 4-cost card in the top row. What is it? Arthur Connolly. So you pay for cards by placing a coin onto each of the cards to the left. Cards on which you've placed money are not available for you to purchase in the same turn, and if there's no card on which you can place a coin, then instead you place money on the card in the other row of the same column. So this is going to go directly into her court and gets a spy out. It's a British patriot. Rank 1 intelligence card with 2 card-based actions, rank 1 move, and purchase gifts. So, if actions remain, return to top. If Wakhan has fewer spies than another player, no. Battle on the highest priority card with the most spies, no. Radicalize. So, since she can't purchase the cost 4 card from the top row or any of the cards to the left of it, instead we look at the cost 4 card of the other row and work our way to the left until we reach a card that she can radicalize, and that's going to be the 0 cost card in the bottom row. This gets placed into her court as well, and it's Kabul Bazaar to the left per the red arrow. And there are 4 impact icons on this rank 2 economic card. So not only does this provide her rank 2 tax shelter, it gets a couple of roads into play, another spy out, and if the current favorite suit weren't already political, it would change to political. So which roads are these going to be? This is based on pragmatic loyalty. The leftmost that doesn't match ours is Afghan. So 2 Afghan roads out of Kabul. Okay. And where are they going to go? We look down at the card again, starting from left to right on this region priority list, and it's going to be first into Transcaspia, second road into Punjab. Spy gets placed on the Kabul card of highest priority, and those are her 2 actions. Any bonus actions? Neither of these cards match the current favored suit or climate. No other special abilities, so we clean up. Court size, maximum at 3, check. Hand size, no hand cards, check. Mark it. These slide and we refill over to us. Wakhan has no money, has 2 of her cylinders in play in the form of spies in her own court. Has a British patriot. There are 2 coalition blocks in play in the form of Afghan roads. We're loyal to the British still. What do we do? Yeah. I think we're going to purchase Josiah Harlan for free. And because of this event, I'm just gonna play the card. This switches our loyalty over to the Afghan coalition. We have no British patriots to discard, nor gifts or prizes. We get a tribe out into Punjab. Gain the ruler token. Bonus actions, rank 1 tax. Wakhan has, not only does she not have any Punjab cards, she also has a rank 2 tax shelter. We are going to take a coin off of one of these cards in the market. grab it from this. And court size, hand size. If discarded, confidence failure, all players must immediately discard a card from their hand. We have no cards to discard. Wakhan. Sorry about the loud noises from this tripod. Build, no. Move, well, she has a rank 1 move, but no armies to move. It would be Russian armies at this point, and we're not using the Wakhan spy movement variant. Radicalized, top. She has no money, so, yeah. It's gonna be this. Kali Sikhs. We ruled Punjab, so since she has no money, we took the money off of it when we did the tax action. She's just gonna not be able to play that. And checking the rules. After purchasing a card from the market, Wakhan will play the card if she can afford to bribe the player ruling the region associated with that card. If she cannot pay the bribe, she will discard the card. Build, no. Move, no. Radicalize, top, no. Bottom, yes. Punjab, discard. That ends her turn. No bonus actions, court side, hand size, market. Dominance check, which will alter Wakhan's behavior for as long as it's out, but it's our turn now, and what do we do? Wakhan has no money, still 2 cylinders in play, climate's still political, couple of Afghan roads, we rule Punjab. So yeah, let's do that. Purchase, Haj Mirza Ghazi, purchase. Bonus actions, tax, rank 1. Court size, hand size, market. Back to Wakhan. If no coalition, oh wait, ignore this for a second. Okay, first, what she does is, well, we check to see if she can afford the dominance check, and if by resolving it, if she can gain more victory points than us, then she does that. If that's not the case, then we check to see if a single coalition is dominant, meaning they have 4 more blocks in play in the form of armies and or roads. If that's the case, then she purchases patriots of that coalition. If there is no dominant coalition, instead she tries to get as many of her cylinders into play as possible in the meantime. So since no coalition is dominant, she can't afford the dominance check. Even though she has 1 more cylinder in play than we do, she's going to try to get more cylinders into play, but she has no money, and neither one of the 0-cost cards would allow her to put cylinders into play. So yes, we do actually go down this list. If no coalition has dominance, radicalize the card that would place the most spies and or tribes. Well, we already know we can't do that. Battle on the highest priority core card with the most spies, where Wakhan also has at least 1 spy. No such case. Radicalize from the top. And look, it's a Punjab card. So we already know that's going to get discarded. She has no money. We still rule Punjab. Radicalize. Top, cost 3. She still has no money. Bottom. That she can. Count Perovsky. To the left, 2 Russian armies, and she's gained a Russian patriot. Bonus actions, no. Court size check, hand size check, market. Phew, no dominance check. Back to us. So what do? I think we just go ahead and play these. So Paula Abitabile, another tribe in the Punjab, and an Afghan army. Haj Mirza Ghazi, a tribe into Persia. We gain the ruler token. This changes the climate to intelligence. Court size, hand size, or no bonus actions. Court size, hand size, market stays the same. Wakhan. So we still flip a card, but same situation. She's going to radicalize Imperial Surveyors for free. To the left, gets a spy out onto the highest priority Transcaspia card. Opponent's card matches favored suit. Patriot of the dominant, other dominant. A prize that matches dominant, other patriot leveraged. Highest ranking, highest number, 87, 88. Arthur Connolly. Okay. Next, she has no money. And radicalize a card that will gain Wakhan control of a region. No. Battle. She's a rank 2 battle action here. As the British, though, there are no British armies in play. No battles possible in the courts either. Radicalized top, cost 3, bottom. Baluchi smugglers. To the left, and this is going to get 3 British blocks. An army in Herat and 2 roads, one that leads into Persia, one that leads into Kandahar. Special ability is Herat influence. It's quite nice. You do not pay for Herat cards in the market. I like to use a non-player color token as a reminder. This is not a spy. Okay. Bonus actions. Rank 1 move. Yes. As a British army, rank 1 move. No. Purchase gifts, no money. She will have to discard 2 cards. Non-political, non-patriot. Court size, hand size, market. Okay. Let's see here. So, the dominance check. Should we go ahead? We could do the dominance check. What else do we want to do? Transcaspia. Okay, we're gonna purchase Wakhan Dynasty for free and the dominance check for 1, 2. Oops. No coalition is dominant. You can tell actually just by looking at this container. So we compare number of cylinders in play. We have 3 and Wakhan has 2. Close, but we win by 1 and therefore score 3 points. Wakhan scores 1 and the coalition blocks remain in play. No bonus actions, court size, hand size. If discarded, change the climate to political, which unfortunately happens after bonus actions. Wakhan. Tax no, radicalize the highest ranked intelligence card. She can only afford 1. Count Ivan Simonage. And she can pay us the bribe. Oh, we no longer rule Persia when that British army moved in. So she does not have to pay a bribe to play this to the left. Two spies onto Haj Mirza Ghazi and radicalize top cost 2, top cost 1. A political card, Transcaspia. She gains a ruler token. And bonus actions, rank 1 tax. We don't have any Transcaspia cards, so it's going to be from the leftmost market. And she must discard 1 non-political, non-patriot. The others are all patriots, so amongst these non-leveraged, most player spies more than Wakhan spies, fewest spies, lowest rank, imperial surveyors. Court size, hand size, market. Okay, back to us. I think what I'm going to do is purchase William Hay McNaughton just mainly to prevent Wakhan from taking this. And then we're going to play Wakhan Dynasty to get a tribe out into Punjab. It's leveraged, so a little risky, but we have money. We gain 2 from the bank. Alright, bonus actions. Move these closer to these icons to remind myself that those are going to be expensive hostage actions. We're going to do a rank 1 tax Punjab from the market. Court size, hand size, market. Dominance check. Wakhan. No coalition is dominant, so Wakhan has 1 rupee and cannot radicalize a card that would allow her to place out more first cylinders, so she's going to go with whatever this card says. If Wakhan has no card with a move action, no. Move? Okay, move. It's going to be rank 2 move off of this. As the British. Oh, nothing to move. So, radicalize, or she's not doing move. Radicalize, top. Cost 0. Moneylenders. That's going to go to the left. and gets 2 British roads out of Kabul into Kandahar and Herat. It's leveraged. She gains 2 rupees from the bank. And it's gonna be another radicalize civic improvements. Because she cannot afford the dominance check, just barely. Two British roads out of Persia. She's gonna pay us nothing to play that because we no longer rule Persia. I'm getting very confused by this situation. Gaining 2, so it's leveraged. Changing the climate to intelligence. The special abilities infrastructure. After you take the build action, place 1 additional block in a legal space. So bonus actions. Rank 2 battle. As the British overthrow Persia. That also gets her 2 spies back on her board. We lose Haj Mirza Ghazi. Rank 1 movement. Purchase gifts. Yes. She's going to spend 2. This is very powerful because her gifts count towards always count towards the dominant coalition, regardless of which one it is, and gets a permanent cylinder into play. So bonus actions done. Court size. She has to discard 2 cards, non-political, non-patriot. It's 2 leveraged cards. So she loses all her money. And we clean up the market. We're gonna play William Hay McNaughton and change loyalty to the British. We're gonna lose Josiah Harlan. And we get 2 spies out. We gain 2 from the bank because he's leveraged. And second action, spend 2 to betray. Arthur Connolly. He gets discarded, no prize there. And that ends our turn, our 2 actions. We get a rank 2 bonus tax, Punjab. Wakhan has no Punjab cards, so we're going to take from here. Okay. So, court size, hand size, market. Gifts are not worth influence until after the next dominance check. That gets set aside as a reminder. Wakhan. The British coalition is dominant. So she'll try to get, well, she can't afford the dominance check. She'll try to get, and she wouldn't win either. She just has that gift, so just a base 1 influence point with embarrassment of riches in play. there are no British patriots available in the market, so she's working her way down this action list. So let's see what happens. Radicalize a card that will gain Wakhan control of region. She has no money, can't afford to do so. Build. No. Radicalize top. Harry Flashman. To the left. Oh, she can't play it because we ruled Punjab. It's discarded. Next. Radicalize. Bottom. Balaisar. And that's gonna get an Afghan. Too bad. An Afghan block. Army into Kabul. British are no longer dominant. Bonus actions. Well, rank 2 battle. Rank 2 movement, but luckily I got this hostage, this spy, and it plays a hostage action on that card. So, court size, hand size, mark it. We still lead a number of cylinders in play. So even if this is a dominance check, we'll be okay. It's not. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of money this game. And Wakhan has had very little. We are pretty lucky so far, especially with embarrassment of riches. Okay, so yeah, I can go ahead and do the dominance check, but I have 2 actions. That's gonna be my second action for 2. What do I do with all this money? I guess I just do the dominance check. Is there anything more fun that could happen before the game ends? Maybe it's good to just save our money and do the dominance check. Make sure this is gonna work out. Yeah. 1, 2. Dominance check. That was a pretty quick game. The British are no longer dominant, so it's a failed dominance check. We have 4 cylinders in play. Wakhan has how many? 2. So we gain 3. Wakhan gains 1, and that ends the game. We have 6 points. Wakhan has 2. That's 4 or more than Wakhan. Game over. So that was one of the easier matches against Wakhan, so not sure how I feel about that being the playthrough video, because she can present quite a bit of challenge, but I'll have to review the video to see what exactly went wrong for Wakhan. I think it was probably a whole series of things. So I do tend to try to starve her of political cards. I do try to, and money, try to target betray, leveraged cards when she's low in cash, and little things like that. Remain flexible and as far as my loyalty is concerned. So not invest too heavily in things like gifts unless it's needed, or even patriots, unless we're close to a dominance check or feel one coming up. I don't really count cards in that way, though. So yeah, that's Pax Pamir.